Good afternoon. Some days ago we received a very heartfelt comment from, I think it was a man, rather deploring the way I tended to be rather dismissive of humanity and saying, isn't there something to be said for the wonders of being human? And then he went on to list some of the many miraculous structures of the human mind and body and the achievements of history, etc. Well, indeed, what has brought me to what I'm aware I do sometimes display. It's helpful to realize that spiritual work does not proceed in one big jump. It's a very long, slow development. One of the classic descriptions is of an old-fashioned pair of scales where you have an arm with two sort of weights, with two baskets on either end, and it's balanced in the middle so that it pivots. And the example's given that if you keep putting one grain on one of the scales, nothing much happens for a long time. And then finally a day comes, maybe after many years, when you add one more grain and lo and behold the scale tips. And thereafter, if you add more, the scale becomes ever heavier on that side and consequently lighter on the other, comparatively lighter on the other. And that's exactly what happens with spiritual work. So there comes a time we may sort of gradually have a feeling that the world of man in a way seems less important and that there's more to life than meets the eye, these sort of rather vague intimations that many people have. But you're not really sure of it. And but maybe when you read a book or something and you feel a little bit more sure, but then you're cast back into doubt again. And so it goes on, this seesaw, for many, many years. And then if we are diligent in our practice and keep going, a day may come when suddenly it really does become clear. Suddenly it's as though the balance has tipped and we really do see, not only momentarily, but consistently from another point of view. And then it is perhaps that one feels confident enough to talk as I talk and say that humanity really is a passing phenomena, and man's real estate is not this human embodiment at all, but this spirit, this invisible spiritual reality that simply supersedes the human embodiment. Well, it doesn't entirely supersede it, because you can see I've still got a mind and a body. But the very process of growing old means we grow out of it. Just like a child grows out of childhood into youth, and then a youth grows into manhood, and so on and so on. We simply grow out of humanity into universality, into a spiritual universality, which when you look back on the world of humanity, it just seems like a worn-out garment. It's something that we've simply outgrown. We've moved into a higher dimension, and this is how it is. And it's not much use trying to we all do try to explain it, and people are hungry for explanations, and they ask questions. But however careful and expressive the explanation, it can never sort of fully 100% be convincing until you've had the experience yourself, and then you realize it. There's an old saying that true knowledge is not something you learn, it's realized. And there is a difference. You can read all the books in the world and listen to videos and attend retreats and go to church every day. You can do all these things, but one day, maybe, God willing, you realize it. You see it for yourself, and then the world does indeed change. Yes, all things are wonderful. It's wonderful to be a child, isn't it? Who would dismiss childhood? It's wonderful to be a youth. It's wonderful to be a young man when you're in the prime of your life. It's wonderful to grow into your maturity. All these things are wonderful in their time. And you know, it's wonderful to be old. And you know, it's even more wonderful to grow up out of being human altogether into spirit. That, my dears, is the most wonderful thing of all. And it doesn't make you, in some ways it makes you love all the preceding stages even more, because you can see how it's all part of, you know, this wonderful, all-merciful providence of God that leads his children step by step through all that we need to learn in this world to bring us eventually home. So who would dismiss anything of this wonderful process? All right, my dears. God bless you for another day. I don't know how long this glorious sunshine is going to last. We're going to make the most of it. Next time I do this, I'll probably be wrapped up in an overcoat again. We'll have to see. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.